So things got a little dicey, things got loud. For this Trumpian Mesa County, Colorado clerk, her name is Tina Peters. She was detained just last week when she was in a bagel shop, I believe, when officers approached her with a warrant. Let's watch how that went down.
It hurts. Let go of me. Give me my key. Stop it. Sorry. No, let go of me. Yes, you are, Caleb. Give me my key to my car. Give me my key to my car. Give me my key to my car. Give it to me. Give me my key. Step outside. Take my purse.
I'm getting the feeling two things are not gonna happen there. They're not gonna let go of you and they're not gonna give you the key to your car. Because if they gave you the key to the car, I assume you drive away. I don't know, I feel like some people don't understand what arrests are like, but you can't just tell them, how dare you arrest me? Let me go. Now, if they're hurting her, yes, they should probably stop doing that. But the rest of this whole thing is an arrest. And what is she being arrested for? Let's look into some of that, you guys. According to this affidavit, officers were serving a warrant to seize Peters' iPad on which she is suspected of improperly recording a court hearing involving her deputy clerk, Belinda Knese, after a judge prohibited recording in the courtroom. Clerk Peters denied to the judge that she was recording at the hearing, but an arrest warrant says that the iPad OS camera application was open, distinguishable with the red record button, and that an observer, quote, saw that the view in the viewfinder was a live view of the courtroom. So they had a warrant to go check this out to see if she had done things like this. She didn't want to show them, so they arrested her. Now, we talked about her deputy clerk being in court. What was she in court for? Man, the crimes just start to expand here, or at least the accusations. Let's look at that. Knese is facing burglary and cybercrime charges. According to an affidavit, she went into the clerk's office in late August when she was on administrative leave for, quote, inappropriate, unprofessional conduct in the workplace. She's also accused of using a computer in Peters' office while Peters was away after the security breach went public. Wait, she's in court for going into an office improperly Peters was away after, what security breach are we talking about? Let's go to that expansion of more potential crimes. Peters has been accused of helping facilitate breaches in election system security, ignoring election rules and defying orders from Secretary of State Jenna Griswold. She also faces ethics and campaign finance complaints involving gifts she's allegedly accepted above legal limits. That's what Colorado Politics is reporting. Last month, Mesa County District Attorney Dan Rubenstein and Colorado Attorney General Phil Weiser announced that the Mesa County grand jury was investigating allegations of tampering with Mesa County election equipment and official misconduct. Man, it just keeps expanding and expanding, Dave. Before we get to people who are defending her, because that's gonna incriminate her further, what do you think about this arrest, first of all?
Well, I think pretty soon we're gonna find out that not only was she in that bagel shop where she was arrested, but that she had ordered a white bagel with mayonnaise on it or something like that ridiculous. This woman's involved in election fraud. She's trying to steal elections. She's acting on behalf of the Republican Party to tamper with the systems, to hack into systems. And now she suddenly wants to, give me my keys, let me finish my bagel, let me go. I mean, when people talk about election fraud, yes, there is election fraud. And Ms. Peters and her assistant are perfect examples of that.
And as they're being, I guess, investigated, facing some kind of consequences for it, the crimes just keep building off of that. Now you're recording in the courtroom while your assistant is there facing charges for breaking into an office when you shouldn't have been there after you broke a previous rule. This just keeps expanding. Now, by the way, some of the people that are defending her, one of them is a Steve Bannon, which you might not be surprised by. Of course, Steve is a Peters ally and he's a former advisor to President Donald Trump. He called the Colorado law enforcement the gazpacho. On his show on Tuesday evening, and that followed the arrest. Now, he says, we're taking over these election boards. This is a shot across the bow. He was joined on the program by Coloradan and election conspiracy theorist Sean Smith, who said this is the use of state violence by tyrants. So we're back to the tyrants. Now don't forget, we just talked about how Thomas Massey said once the government has gone tyrannical, it's time to start getting enough people to collect enough guns to overthrow it. This is all in the same vein of the way these types of folks talk. Now, not only just Steve Bannon, but Mike Lindell jumps in as well. He had an interview and he was speaking about it on the local Denver affiliate for CBS. He said, why would the county clerk, this great American, and other county clerks and other people in Colorado, why are they being attacked? Every harassment of Tina Peters goes back to they don't want the truth to come out about the election. Fact, and that's fact. Well, we've adjudicated some of your quote unquote facts, and it just isn't the case. He went on to talk about how she's a patriot and she didn't do anything corrupt. He's going on his full defense, and he says these people need to be arrested. That's just how we go about these things. Anyone that's arresting folks for investigating or looking into a warrant that they didn't cooperate with, now they are the problem. So one more thing on Tina Peters here, because back last year, she was on a panel that was talking about the election fraud that Donald Trump is continually complaining about. And she was seen with some unsavory figures. Let's watch this.
If this is allowed to be buried, what they've done and what these machines are capable of, I fear for our country. This is it. This is the tip of the spear that's going to bust this thing wide open nationwide. And they're so afraid, and that's why they're attacking us, is they want us to go away or go to jail. And we've got to get the word out. We've got to let the people know that they're the ones that cheated. They're the ones that destroyed election records. They're the ones that are allowing influences to come into our computers, changing votes and doing all these things. And I keep saying the selected, not elected, are the ones that are lording over us.
What happened here in Mesa County with Tina and everything, there's weak commissioners, right? Weak sheriff, weak DA. What's that? Right?
The weak county.
3% right there. Like that. Had to get my 3 out there. Show me
we want to keep going.
3.
Gotta flash the 3 like the gang that you are. So let's go down to graphic number 8, you guys, because I want to explain who these folks were that she was hanging out with as she's talking about the election being stolen. Peters is seen seated with Jacqueline Anderson, who last week, as reported by Colorado Times Recorder, this is from at that moment last year when they did that, resigned her position as first vice chair of the Mesa County Republican Party. And Anderson's husband, the guy with the 3 fingers there, activist Corey Anderson, who previously has been identified as a 3%er. I think he identified himself as that as well. And the Southern Poverty Law Center says that the 3%ers are, quote, an extremist movement that claims to be ready to carry out armed resistance to perceived tyranny. And Tina Peters is hanging out with him. And Thomas Massey is telling folks like this, amass your guns, get ready to overthrow the government, because we weren't successful 2 Januaries ago. Okay.
Jayar, I'm just glad that Corey was using his fingers for something other than video games, because it looked like he was standing behind her playing video games while she was talking. So that's the first part about it. The second part about it is, well, I forgot about the second part of this again. But the thing about it in all of this is that which is so just sort of strange, is don't these people sort of realize what they're saying here? Don't they realize that if you're talking about election fraud and you're talking about the election being spoiled, you can't then go and try to back in to election systems yourself. And I know what I was going to say. Jayar, if you want to talk about gazpacho puns, I think the solution in all of this is let's just throw these people in the goulash. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Tasty. Punishment should be dealt out, not lunches.